rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Welcome to Under the Rock, where the right answer is always rock. I'm Liz McCarthy.
And I'm Nina Bober. With the third American period coming to an end, my schoolwork has been piling up.
Mine too. Lately, I've been relaxing on my phone, and my favorite app, Snapchat, just got a new update.
On Thursday, February 22nd, Snapchat, the most used social media app among teenagers, updated their app, causing many people to criticize it. Snapchat users are upset over the newly designed layout because it's more confusing to navigate and use the app. James Gomez, a senior at Glen Rock High School, said, "Snapchat is my favorite social media app and is my main outlet of communication with friends because it's quick and simple." According to Omnicore, around 80% of Snapchat users are between the ages of 12 to 18 years old, making it the most used social media app for teenagers. Also, 68% of Snapchat users said that Snapchat's most critical feature is messaging and stories. The new update changed the Stories tab, making it harder to view people's stories and navigating the app. James Gomez said, "People will use Snapchat no matter what, but not as many people will view stories because it's harder to find the people's stories you want to see." Snapchat released a statement saying that their primary goal of the update was to separate content created by professionals and friends. With all the criticism, Snapchat said they wouldn't reverse the update, but they will add minor tweaks to the redesign to make the service better for everyone.
Personally, I like the old Snapchat better.
I agree, it was easier to use.
One thing that isn't easy is committing to a sport. All the hard work they put into it is inspiring.
Let's head over to the sports desk and see what's new for spring.
Hi, I'm Yuma Mano.
And I'm Grace Olendike.
And welcome to the Sports Desk. Many GRHS students are very excited and ready for the spring sports season to start.
We have many different stories in store for you, from baseball to lacrosse to softball.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's just get right into it. The boys lacrosse team is trying to make this year a bounce-back year after losing 14-6 in the Group 1 sectional final. This year, they're hoping to advance past the Group 1 sectional final. Varsity coach Mike Escalante said, "We're just doing a lot of tough practices and conditioning, making sure everyone's ready to go." In the preseason, the team has focused on fixing the basics and the little things, like passing and effort. Liam Horton, a senior at Glen Rock High School, said, "The culture surrounding the team is a lot better, and I think a lot of kids are friendly to each other, and the atmosphere in the locker room is a lot better." The lacrosse team has a high potential for the season. According to Coach Esco, we have some veteran players back in offense. Defense will be a little bit younger, but certainly I think we have a potential to do the good things this year.
It seems like the boys lacrosse team have a lot in store to help prepare for the season.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be doing a lot of running. Why don't we now go see what baseball has in store for the season?
After a devastating loss to High Point in June, Glen Rock baseball is trying to bounce back in the 2018 season. The 8-2 loss took them out of the state tournament, a crushing end to a great season. Glen Rock was 18-6 and shared a Colonial Division League championship with Rutherford. This year, they are looking to repeat last year's success and make another run for the state sectional title, and it all starts in the off-season. One important part of the team's preseason training was at Wadiak Baseball Facility in Rutherford. Junior catcher Owen Deutschman explained, "Wadiak is great because you are getting many reps in it, and along the way, they are great coaches that are helping you improve." Not only that, but Coach Crispino has pushed for kids to be at the weight room over the winter and scheduling many challenging opponents that Glen Rock will be scrimmaging, including Don Bosco, Ramsey, Passack Valley, and Passack Hills. This year, the team has 9 returning seniors, and a senior pitcher, Matt Capita, thinks this will be a huge factor for the team this year. We all have amazing chemistry and have since our first years of travel baseball, so that will definitely have a positive impact on the season. As for the team's skill set, the outfield is very strong, and the team's hitting is what will lead them to victory this year. The team also has 4 senior pitchers coming back, which will keep the pitching staff strong, like in past years.
Wow, the baseball team have a lot in store for the season.
Yeah, let's go see what softball has in store.
The Glen Rock High School softball team is getting ready for the upcoming season by trying their best in practice to prepare for the start of the season in early April of this year. Coach Dowell, head varsity coach, said she has a particular website that provides video of all these different drills from college coaches. She's hoping to try some of these in upcoming practices. Sophomore Kate Petradis says she has a trainer outside of school and she's hoping to improve on her skills this season. Last year, the team lost in 9 innings to Lodi in the league championships. The goal of the team this year is to work on little things to avoid this from happening again.
Hopefully this year the team can avoid those little things and come out on top.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they'll be working. Let's now go take a look at girls lacrosse team.
For a long 6 years, Coach Taryn Tabano was coaching the Glen Rock girls lacrosse team, but she just resigned from the position this winter due to her new job opportunity. Senior Lizzie Burgoyne, who has played on the team for 4 years, says, Taryn knew she could push us hard without there being any backlash because we expected that of her. While with the new coach, a lot of us had no idea what to expect. Tabano had 6 successful seasons with this team and tried to continue coaching, but her work schedule interfered with coaching. Kyle McCourt has now stepped in as Glen Rock's coach, and Coach Taryn Tabano is now coaching at Academy of the Holy Angels, which is one of Glen Rock's biggest rivals. The largest hope for this year's girls lacrosse team is that they can continue to push themselves to their limits without their more enormous push. Coach Taryn Tabano. Ex-player Haley Duncan was on the team for 2 years, and she says, even though she was tough, she was committed to our team. She only missed 1 practice out of the 2 years I played. Coach McCourt seems to be filling Coach Taryn's shoes pretty well considering. Burgoyne says he has the same level of intensity as Taryn did and emphasizes conditioning just as much as she did. Hopefully Tabano's absence won't impact this team much.
And now, here's the Panthers Den, your update on all recent scores for the Glen Rock Spring sports teams.
The boys lacrosse have started their season off 3-0, defeating Riverdale, Mahwah, and Arthur L. Johnson behind 7 goals in 3 games from Justin Duenas and 8 from Liam Horton, and a shutout from Colin Consoli against Mahwah. The girls lacrosse team has started the season off 2-2 behind wins over Holy Angels and Scotch Plains Fanwood. Jordan Russo already has 12 goals for the season.
The boys baseball team, as of tape date, have lost their season opener to Paramus and Hawthorne, but bounced back with 7-0 win against Jefferson. The softball team opens up their season as they host Rutherford on Monday.
The track team opened up their season as they faced Nanuet on Saturday. The girls golf team lost their first match to Mahwah, and the boys team started their season with a loss to Bergen Catholic.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Good luck to all the spring sports teams.
And see you next time on the Sports Desk.
school is known for being a place of growth for teenagers, but let's take a look at how the girls of GRHS are affected by it.
Because from a young age, parents say, oh, look at the little boy, so strong and adventurous, and look at the girl, so pretty. The expectation is beauty, as opposed to, strength or intellect or social skill or anything, like just aesthetic value.
I would say middle school. In elementary school, based on experience, I never really worried about what I looked like or anything like that.
I kind of started, at least personally, end of 5th grade. I hadn't really thought about it before, and then I just remember a moment I was getting ready for school one day, and Mom came up behind me and she's like, Emily, you are so pretty. And I looked in the mirror, and that was the first time I had ever really thought about how I looked. And then since then, it turned into I didn't want to wear glasses anymore. I didn't like my retainer. And then it became a matter of being more of the standard of pretty, I guess, that mattered more then.
I think it's very hard if you're like a tomgirl. I think they have a lot of pressure, like wearing skirts and dresses all the time.
Girls are held to a standard of aesthetic appreciation, where guys are more immediately appreciated for human characteristics as opposed to just appearance.
Yeah, I would say stereotypically people say oh, you're so pretty, you're so cute, while more so to a guy you would say oh, don't you look so handsome? So yeah, there's definitely still that kind of difference in society, and I think it'd be unrealistic to deny that difference exists.
Young girls, you'll see them going around in pretty little dresses or something that already kind of is more attention to, oh, that's so pretty. But guys, they're kind of, even when they're little, wearing things that don't really draw attention to them because they don't really look at little boys and be like, oh, they're pretty, and assign value to that.
Wow, that's sad. But I could see that, what did you say the age range was?
7 to 10.
7 to 10. Definitely, because I work a lot with elementary school kids, and with social media and technology, you really see that influence.
I totally agree with the first one. I think a lot of people are judged more on their appearance and what they've actually accomplished, like what that just said.
There's a 6th grader that I babysit and tutor, and she's really into YouTube, and she loves to watch YouTubers and beauty tutorials and DIYs and things like that, and I think that has a huge influence on their perception of, I guess, what society considers to be pretty or beautiful. So yeah, definitely, but that's kind of sad.
Unfortunately, it doesn't surprise me. These are the kind of statistics that we see a lot, and I think that people aren't as sensitive to what numbers mean as they are to hearing other things. So 1 in 3 girls thinks that their appearance is the most important thing, and honestly, that is pretty sad.
I would say there's definitely a standard that we can see in social media, online, that defines sort of what people consider to be pretty. And it's true, a lot of industries such as modeling and public figures, they're judged really on, what they wear, how they present themselves, what they look like, what their hair looks like, and it's kind of sad. I really think that people should be judged, or not even judged, but seen for, who they are, not what they look like. That sounds very cliche, but I do think that.
Ouch. I honestly don't know how to respond to that in an eloquent way that suggests some sort of knowledge. I think that to find it the most important part of yourself is really limiting, because there's so much more to a person than what they look like, and so much complexity within people, especially the way you look is relatively static. Of course, it changes as you grow, and there are adaptations you can make in terms of hair, makeup, whatever. But your personality, who you are, your values, those are things that are much more important to the outcome of your life than what your appearance is.
I want to say that's surprising, but I don't really think it is, because, you know, being a girl, I would know, and everyone around me. But.
Okay, what is perfect? What is the standard of perfect? Like, is there a definition? Because it seems like it's just a concept, like infinity or absolute zero in science. It's a theory, but it's not attainable. Because nothing can be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect circle. There's nothing that doesn't have its edges or its flaws. And why do things even need to be considered flaws if they're different? The fact that they aspire to something that isn't possible just shows what a deep pit appearance can be in.
5-year-old, seriously? Wow. I mean, I would say with that, I'm not saying completely, but you definitely have influence of, because what, 5 are first graders?
5's like kindergarten.
Kindergartners. I mean, there's definitely the impact of family and parents and parenting on that kind of thing, because, I mean, little kids, like, you don't really know about any of this kind of thing, and you're not going to think like, oh, I'm not going to eat this or eat that because, and relating that to appearance-wise. I think that's something that, like, body image and things like that, like, we talk a lot about that in, like, health class and, like, I don't know about elementary school, but definitely, like, middle school, and I think that should also be emphasized for, like, the younger generation, such as kindergarten and, like, going into, you know, 1st, 2nd grade, just because with social media today, as I've said like 5,000 times, it's really presented to, you know, they see these Photoshop pictures on TV, on, like, the internet, and that definitely influences how they see themselves.
Like, the celebrity culture in this country is insane, where, you know, the people that you see on television are always perfectly manicured and, like, presentable, when in reality that's not how life works. And so I think that a big part of this, you know, universal almost desire to be more attractive than you are is from that sort of distorted imagery that we see.
Definitely throughout the school year, because I feel like you see a lot more people.
I think definitely. I think there's a standard, and I wouldn't say exactly pretty. I'm a more practical person myself, but if you leave the house and, like, you're going to school, you do want to look presentable. You don't want to look like you just rolled out of bed. So yeah, I would say definitely there's that influence.
Probably social media, definitely. I know there's always, like, a need to, like, put on this facade that, like, you're pretty and, like, perfect filter and Instagram and all of that.
I don't know. It's just kind of a general expected thing that women will pay attention to their looks. They will try and just be the best forms of themselves, be out there. I like clothing. I like to think of how I dress myself. I like makeup. I like being able to control the face that I express to the world, because it's my appearance. It's my way of expressing myself. And I guess I hold myself to my own expectations of being pretty.
So honestly, for a while I didn't really feel like I had one, but I would say now my role model is one of my dance teachers. Her name is Miss Lily. You know, her name is Lily, but basically the reason she's my role model mostly is because she has, like, done a lot for me in my life in terms of shaping who I am, where ballet is a very difficult environment, and I think that actually plays a lot into what we're talking about in terms of, like, beauty and appearance. But so for her, she basically kept pushing me to do, like, you know, what I could and live up to the potential that I had fallen from at a point in my dance career.
Probably my best friend Liz. She's such an inspiration. I mean, like, she sort of taught me that every girl is beautiful. Just you gotta put that effort in and be nice to people. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say my lacrosse coach, Mannella. She really doesn't really listen to social standards, and she doesn't take into account all of that.
I would say my best friend, who I refer to as the Princess Bean. Well, she's one of them anyway. I really admire her. She's always just very confident in herself, very true to who she is, very strong.
I would say my best friend.
So why is she your role model?
Why? Well, I think she is a very strong person. She's very passionate about a lot of things that she does. She throws herself into everything wholeheartedly. She has so much empathy for everyone around her, and she's very confident in herself, which is something that I really appreciate.
So I think that in a way, beauty is more than aesthetic, whereas calling someone pretty is pretty much just based on, appearance only.
Definitely. When you're pretty, that's just appearance-wise, but when people say you're beautiful, I say that's kind of underneath your skin and all around you.
Beautiful is more of a term people aspire to. Pretty can be, I feel like a lot of people use pretty as kind of a throwaway term. Like if they don't really have much to say about it, they'll be like, oh, it's pretty. But with beautiful is just like the top of where everyone seems to want to be. You want to be beautiful. You want to be considered attractive because, again, it's just linked to being happy, to being successful. Is if you're more beautiful, more people will like you. You'll get things that you want in life easier. You'll get things that you need in life easier.
I don't know if I would say when I'm wearing something that's comfortable, when I'm confident, when I'm really passionate about something and enjoy what I'm doing and feel that other people can see.
When I'm around people who I like, that are very nice towards me.
Wow, learning about how self-esteem affects girls in our school is empowering.
I agree. I watched the girls during taping and their words are still so meaningful, especially since they're people we know.
What else do we know?
Let's find out from the news desk.
Welcome to the news desk. I'm Gabriella Baldacchino.
And I'm Pooja Freak. We'll be your host today, giving you all the details on what's happening in town. I don't know about you guys, but I think the students of Glen Rock have been very chatty and loud.
I agree. But on March 16th, it was more than silent in the halls of GRHS. During the week of March 12th, the Alliance, formerly known as the GSA, helped kick off Ally Week and the Day of Silence in GRHS.
Junior Madeline Brennan, a council member of the Alliance, said, Ally Week is supposed to raise awareness about the struggle that LGBT+ people go through.
According to Mr. Croft, GRHS has been involved in Ally Week for the past 6 years. It is a national event that has been happening for around 12 years. At the beginning of the week, the members of the Alliance went into first period classes and asked the students if they wanted to support the Day of Silence with a sticker or by not talking.
The Day of Silence takes place at the end of Ally Week, and according to Madeline, it is to stand in solitary with those who are bullied or disrespected because of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
Ally Week and Day of Silence is a tradition that will continue to grow, and you can get more information at dayofsilence.org.
This is a really great way for our school to come together and to support each other. Glen Rock has so many opportunities and clubs for students to hang out and get to know each other, like the Ping Pong Club.
I agree. The ping pong tournament was a big hit at GRHS. Ping pong is actually the second most played sport in the world.
Wow, that's really interesting. Let's take a closer look.
Well, on March 2nd, in the cafeteria, a small group of students led by Mr. Feldman learned the basics of ping pong and had a small tournament.
125 kids signed up for the club, and at the beginning of the year, Mr. Feldman decided to put out flyers for this tournament to see if students would be interested. Sophomore Dan Friedel said he found out about the tournament from a friend and that it was a really good time.
Sophomore Jack Lemieux also said that the club could be expanded if more people were informed about it. GRHS will actually soon be receiving 2 new ping pong tables, and if students are interested in the club, you can reach out to Mr. Feldman.
That's really cool. I would love to find out more about this club. Ping pong is even played in the Olympics.
Speaking of the Olympics, in this year's Olympic Games, a Jersey girl, Staci Mannella, competed in the Paralympic Games. Her story is truly amazing.
I agree. She was diagnosed with acromegalia at birth, which left her blind. That didn't stop her from continuing to do what she loves, which is skiing. It must have taken a while for her to get to where she is, though.
It really did. But after all those years of training, she is now ranked top 10 in the world for her skiing events, like slalom and super combined.
Wow, how does she ski so well without being able to see? I can barely ski one hill without falling.
Staci actually has a guide communicate with her through a headset so she can know the turns coming up ahead.
Seems kind of stressful to me.
Definitely, I can't believe that.
Isla Brown was actually lucky enough to get an interview with Staci, and her advice to high schoolers is to work hard in school and be able to find out who you are.
In our school, a lot of people are figuring out who they are in choir class. Some students decide to go on the annual trip to Williamsburg, Virginia, where they perform in a competition.
The trip seemed like a lot of fun to me. They not only competed in the choir competition, but also got to do fun activities, such as go to the theme park Busch Gardens.
Freshman Annabelle Sturriali said, "One thing I look forward to is spending time and bonding with everyone in choir. I heard that the theme park was a ton of fun."
I bet it was, and they deserved all of it considering how hard they worked. Choir teacher Miss Lilikas talked about the trip last year, saying, "One of the judges talked about making your sound free. We tried to incorporate that into warm-ups this year. That was probably the biggest takeaway from the competition."
They truly had good rhythm with each other and rehearsed their notes every day.
So glad to hear it. I think that's all I have, Pooja.
This has been the News Desk.
I knew the news desk wouldn't disappoint us.
Neither did the choir members at their performance in Williamsburg.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time on Under the Rock.